Hello students, this is chapter 2, inverse trigonometric functions, class 12, and in our last class we had completed the chapter relations and functions, and I have told you about different types of functions, and we had also discussed about the inverse of a function. When will the inverse of a function exist? When the function is bijective, that is it is 1 1 and onto. So today we will discuss about inverse trigonometric functions. So let's just do a quick recap. Now trigonometric ratios are also trigonometric functions. Why they are trigonometric functions? Because they satisfy the definition of a function. What is the definition of a function? That if f is a function from a to b, then every element of a will have a unique image in set b. So over here the definition of the function, all the trigonometric ratios satisfies this. For example, sine of pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. It cannot be anything else. Sine of pi by 4 cannot be 1. So it satisfies the definition of a function. Therefore, all trigonometric ratios are trigonometric functions. Now, the following are the domains and range of trigonometric functions. We have done this also in class 11, that sine x, we can take the domain of sine x can be r. It can be any real number. We can take sine of 1, sine of 2, sine of 3, and the range, the value which we are going to get, always between -1, the closed interval -1 and 1. That means sine maximum it can take 1 and minimum it would be -1. Similarly, cos x, we can take any real number and get the value between -1 and 1 again. Tan x will not be defined. Tan x is sin x by cos x, and cos x is 0 when it on the odd multiples of pi by 2. So we have to subtract those odd multiples of pi by 2 from r, otherwise tan will not be defined. So this will be the domain of tan r minus x, such that x is equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2, and n belongs to z, and we can get any value in r. It will go till infinity, from minus infinity to infinity. So cot x is, again we will subtract those value where sine is not defined, because cot x is cos x by sin x. So sin x is 0. So if sin x is 0, the denominator will become 0 and cot x will not be defined. So sin x will be 0 on all the multiples of pi. So we will subtract all the multiples of pi from r. That will be the domain, and range will be again real number. Similarly, sec x is again 1 upon cos x, and we will subtract the odd multiples of pi by 2 from r, because their sec x is not defined, and the range will be r minus the open interval -1 1. We will never get the value of sec x between -1 and 1. And cos x, again it is not defined at the multiples of pi, so we'll subtract the multiples of pi from r, and the range is again r minus -1 to 1. Also, we have learnt in our previous class that f is invertible, the function is invertible if and only if f is bijective. F is bijective means f is 1 1 and onto. So let us see. Now this is ITF, is the short form of inverse trigonometric function. Let us see a sine function. Now these are few values I have taken. It can take any value in R, but I have taken a few values over here, and this is the graph B. If I have sine of 0 under the sine function, the function f is over here, I have defined as sine. So under sine 0 is 0, sine pi by 6 is half, sine pi by 4 is 1 by root 2, sine pi by 2 is root 3 by 2, and sine pi is 1. So sine pi is 0. So over here you can see that sine of 0 is also 0 and sine of pi is also 0. That means sine is not 1 1, although it is on 2. Root 3 by 2 will also be taken by some others. Root 3 by 2 is at sine 60 degrees. So pi by 3 if I write here, so this value will also be used. So it is on 2, but it is not 1 1, because you can see the graph also, this is minus 1, this is 1, and here minus pi by 2, minus pi, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. So you can see over here it is 1, then again minus 1 here, again minus 1 here. So at this value, at minus pi by 2 also it is minus 1, at 3 pi by 2 also it is minus 1. So it is not 1 1. So sine is not bijective. So similarly, all the trigonometric functions are not bijective. Then how can we talk about its inverse? This question arises. When it is not bijective, then inverse should not exist. If inverse does not exist, then why this chapter is there? Why we are talking about inverse trigonometric functions? So the answer to this problem is, we need to make the sine function bijective. So that means we have to make it onto it is, but we have to make it 1 1. So how can we make it 1 1? For that we need to restrict its domain. So how will we restrict the domain? You can see the graph here. If I restrict the domain from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, you can see in this no value is repeated in this domain, in this interval minus pi by 2, pi by 2. Each value of sine is different. At this point I will get different value, at this point I will get different value. So we have restricted the domain. If we restrict its domain to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, then it becomes 1 1 and on 2. Then sine functions restricted to any of the intervals. It's not that only in this interval. We can, after this, from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 also, you can say it is 1 1. From this interval to this interval also it is 1 1. So the sine function restricted to any of the intervals minus 3 pi by 2, minus pi by 2, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 and so on. Many intervals are there. It is 1 1 and on 2. But minus pi by 2 and pi by 2 is called the principal value branch. So we will be interested only in this interval while doing the sums. We have to see the principal value branch. One of the interval will be taken as the principal value branch. So inverse of sine function. Now you have learned the definition of the inverse, that if f is a function from x to y, then inverse will be from y to x. So over here in sine function, I have told you it is from r to minus 1 1. So you will say that it should be from minus 1 1 to r, but on the whole of r it is not 1 1. So I have made the domain what? Over here the range will become, over here y is this, so minus 1 to 1, and my range over here will be minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. The principal value branch will be taken as the range, because in this interval the sine is bijective. Similarly, the other trigonometric functions are also not 1 1 and can be made 1 1 if we restrict their domains. So the following table shows the ITF along with their domain and range. So range over here, just see, sine inverse will be defined from minus 1 to 1 to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Then cos inverse of minus 1 1 will be 0 to pi. So you have to learn, or you can, if you want to see the graph also, it is given in the NCERT. From there it will be very clear. Please see the graph, so you can see that how the principal value branch is derived. Then tan inverse is from r to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, and cot inverse is from the domain will be r and range will be 0 to pi. Similarly, sec inverse range will be r minus 1 1. This was, I have told that this was the range of the sec. So this will become domain of the sec inverse. So r minus 1 1, and it will be from 0 to pi. This will be the principal value branch, minus pi by 2. The multiple of pi by 2 will be odd multiple of first odd multiple of pi by 2 will be subtracted, otherwise it will not be defined. Similarly, cosec inverse is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0. Now it can be shown that graph, if you draw the graph of inverse trigo functions, these can be obtained from the corresponding original functions. You draw the graph of sin x to get the graph of sin inverse x, and draw the line x is equal to y and take the mirror image along the line. Y is equal to x will act as the mirror, and just locate the points and you will get the mirror image along the line y is equal to x. Please refer to NCERT, see all the graphs are done over there. how you can obtain the graphs of the inverse functions. Now there is a note over here that sin inverse x should not be confused with sin x to the power minus 1. Sin x to the power minus 1 and sin inverse x are two different things. In fact, sin x to the power minus 1 is 1 upon sin x. Similarly, for other trigonometric functions also, we will not confuse. These two are very much different. Then, whenever no branch of inverse trigonometric function is not mentioned, we mean the principal value branch. We will always find our solution in principal value branch. The value of inverse trigonometric functions which lies in the range of principal value branch is called the principal value of that ITF. So we will learn how to find the principal value of inverse trigonometric functions. This is a few questions of exercise 2.1. Just see how to find the principal value. Find the principal value of sin inverse minus half. This is question number 1. So we will say let sin inverse minus half is y, and then sine, this implies that sine of y is equal to minus half. Sine of y is equal to minus half. So sine y is half. When is sine half? At 30 degree. So pi by 6 is 30 degrees. So minus sign will be here. So minus sine pi by 6. So sine y is equal to sine. You know that sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. So I can take this minus sign inside. So now comparing, we can say that y is equal to minus pi by 6. That means minus 30. And it very much lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, which is the principal value branch. This should be very careful. You should be very careful that whatever value of y you are getting should belong to the principal value branch. So principal value branch of sine is closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So therefore y was what? This sine inverse minus half. So sine inverse minus half is minus pi by 6. Here also question number 6. Find the principal value of tan inverse minus 1. So again in the same manner we will proceed. Tan inverse minus 1 is equal to y and tan y is equal to minus 1. So tan y is minus, when is tan y 1? At pi by 4. So tan pi by 4 minus tan pi by 4. Again tan of minus theta is minus tan theta. So I will write here tan of minus tan pi by 4 can be written like this, tan of minus pi by 4. So y, when you compare, y is minus pi by 4 and minus pi by 4 belongs to the principal value branch minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. This step is very important. You have to say that it belongs to the principal value branch. So since it belongs to the principal value branch, so my value of y will be, that is tan inverse minus 1 will be minus pi by 4. Now let us see the next question. Find the principal value of cos inverse minus 1 by root 2. So let cos inverse minus 1 by root 2 is y, and after that cos y is minus 1 by root 2, and 1 by root 2, when is cos 1 by root 2? At pi by 4. So minus sign as it is, I'll write cos pi by 4. But here cos of minus theta is cos theta. So I cannot write minus cos pi by 4 as cos of minus pi by 4. That will be wrong. So what I am going to do, I will use this property that cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. So minus cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. So cos y is, this we had discussed in grade 11 also, how it is cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. So cos y is equal to cos pi minus pi by 4, which is cos, when you evaluate this, you will get pi minus pi by 4 is 3 pi by 4, and 3 pi by 4 belongs to the principal value branch of cos, that is 0 to pi. The principal value branch of cos inverse is 0 to pi. So cos inverse minus 1 by root 2 is 3 pi by 4. Now question number 11. Find the value of tan inverse 1, cos inverse minus half, sin inverse minus half. So here we will find the principal value of tan inverse 1 in the same manner as we have done before. So I have assumed it to be y, this is y, and I have got the value of y, this y, as pi by 4. Similarly, I will assume cos inverse minus half as x, this is x, and got the value of x as 2 pi by 3. The principal value branch only you have to find. Then I will find sine inverse of minus half, let it be z, and z I am getting it as minus pi by 6. So I have to get y plus x plus z. So I will substitute the value of y, that is pi by 4, x, value of x, that is 2 pi by 3, and value of z, that is minus pi by 6 over here to get this value. So will just I have done this, required value is y plus x plus z, and just substitute the values and get the answer as 3 pi by 4. So rest of the questions of this exercise will be homework. Thank you so much, students.